This is Evan with Mahaffey Farms, and I'm here with Kelly McMullan, and he is an old friend of our family that has these very unique mulberry trees that we're propagating on our farm. And I wanted Kelly to tell his story about this tree to us, and like why he thinks it's important that someone would propagate this tree. So,
Well, when I was a kid, my grandpa had this huge mulberry tree in the pig pen. And every year we'd go there, the tree limbs would be crashing down, and he'd always talk about how many mulberries that tree had. And I'd never seen another mulberry tree like that. But you know, I'm a kid, I didn't pay that much attention. And then
okay, that's okay. So I wanted you to tell me the original story of these trees, or where they came from. They came from your grandpa Upton, right?
Yeah.
And where was this tree? You said it was in his hog pen.
Yeah.
So tell me the story again.
Well, it's off of Linton Bellevue Road.
In Bossier Parish?
Yeah.
Okay.
And they had this huge tree that every year would just be loaded. And I didn't pay that much attention.
And how old of a kid were you?
All the time I was growing up.
Okay, but I mean, you weren't a teenager. You were a
yeah,
little...
I'd gotten to be a teenager. I mean, you know, but...
but you remembered every year the trees just drooping with fruit.
Yeah.
And his hogs would eat those mulberries.
Yeah, because it was too high really to go out there and pick it. Because he kept all the limbs cut down, you know. But, I mean, it would just be tons of them. And then the limbs would break.
Yeah, one just fell right between us while we're talking.
I know, it's like raining mulberries.
As it got older, it would even put little mulberries on the edge of the trunk and all.
Really?
Yeah.
Well,
These haven't done it.
Well, the ones we got from you, they fruited in the first year. We're eating mulberries off of saplings that are this tall.
Yeah.
I mean, it's unbelievable the success of this. I mean, the production of this particular mulberry.
If you think about it, those cuttings are the same age, from the tree, the same age as that tree was.
That's right. It's a clone, but it's the same age.
Thing. Yeah.
I never thought of it that way. Yeah.
I hadn't either until somebody mentioned it.
Yeah. So it's actually just
that old tree that's kept on growing.
If you had to guess, what year did how old? What could be the approximate age of that original tree in the hog pen?
I have no clue.
Well, I mean, it was the 1960s when you were a kid, or 70s when you were a kid.
It was a big tree.
And it was like, you have an idea of how big around? I mean,
I don't remember. But all I can remember is a big tree.
Well, but then, I mean, we can still take a guess. It's probably from the early 1900s. Would you suggest that's probably a decent estimate of age?
And then no one would know whether it was planted or whether it just came up there.
Well, it's probably an old cultivar, though, like an old mulberry that they brought in.
Well, people
not native.
People used to plant mulberries for the fruit.
Right.
Because
they fed their chickens and their hogs.
And themselves.
And themselves, yeah.
Then people quit planting mulberries because when people put clothes on the clothesline and then the birds fly over, then there'll be purple stains and people so you know, the mulberries kind of disappeared.
I've heard people complain about they didn't want mulberries in their yard and have cut them down because it made their driveway purple.
Yeah.
I think that's the craziest thing in the world. I mean, like, what? Who cares what color your driveway is?
Well, some people are different than us.
Well, we're a better different. Yeah. So I can't imagine what other questions I would have other than, I mean, it's Bossier Parish tree, and your grandpa Upton had it. So I mean, I think it's great to call it the Upton Mulberry.
I wouldn't know anything else to call it.
Yeah. What else? I really wish we could drive over and see if it was still there. I wonder if it is. Or maybe it's children that have fallen. I mean, the seeds from
I'm not even sure if I would know where the place is anymore.
We should go to the courthouse and track it down. Like find your grandpa, or maybe did he rent or own the land?
He owned the land, but Mom sold it after he died.
Which would have been in the 80s, maybe?
I see a documentary in the making.
I don't know.
In search of the Upton Mulberry.
I'd have to look at Grandpa Upton's grave site to know exactly when he died.
But we could search his name in the court records and the property exchanges and see if we can find where he sold that land, and then get a property description and track it down just out of curiosity. It'd just be fun to see if it's still there, because only an idiot would cut that tree down.
Oh, no. My grandpa had huge chinkapin trees that he cut down.
Just for the camera there, look at that, look how big these berries are. It's insane.
And that's not the biggest one.
No, it's not the biggest ones, but it's just, this is an average, I would say.
Yeah.